So in the last video, you guys saw, we went down to California, picked up this 1993 FD Mazda RX7. I know literally absolutely nothing about this car, but I do know I want to get it running again. In the last video I mentioned, we were probably just going to throw that 13B that we had sitting in the back of the garage back in the car. The last owner actually shot me a text. He said, hey, don't throw that engine back in. 10 years ago, the cooling seal, it's like a big orange O-ring, the cooling seal for the coolant was leaking and it was the car was overheating. So last night I went ahead and I ordered literally everything to be able to rebuild that 13B, which is going to include an all new seal kit for both of the rotors, the irons, everything like that. And I'm gonna take it one step further. We're gonna go ahead and Cerakote the irons and everything to make that engine look brand new. So assuming that our irons are good, we have a new seal kit. With that, I also ordered the oil metering pump delete, which if you guys don't know, and I'm still learning this so I could be totally wrong, the oil metering pump injects oil into the rotor housings to lubricate the apex seals to keep everything nice and lubricated. We're deleting that and we're just gonna run premix in our gasoline. That way it'll have nice lubrication properties for the apex seals against the rotor housing. I also went ahead and ordered the solid dowel kit for the 13B and the engine stud kit, which should overall make the performance and the reliability of the 13B a little bit better for us, because 13Bs are known to be more, I think they're more temperamental than EJ. I've learned the EJ like the back of my hand. It's time to learn the rotary. We also got about 9 totes worth of parts, and I would love to start condensing these down today, which we're going to start doing. I do want to get the FD pushed out, pressure washed, and cleaned, because it has been sitting for 10 years, and it has a lot of cobwebs, dirt, grime, dust, everything sitting on this. And whenever I do a new project like this, I like to have a nice, clean, fresh start. Now, I do want to give a shout out to the guys over at Chemical Guys. I'm not affiliated with Chemical Guys. I'm not sponsored by Chemical Guys. They did send over their new Pro Flow pressure washer with their big mouth max release foam cannon and their wash and wax supreme foam soap stuff. This literally came in yesterday, so it'll be a perfect opportunity to test out on the FD. So let's get the FD pushed outside, get it cleaned up, get it pushed back inside, and let's start getting into this thing. Oh, dude, quick fitting! Finished washing the FD just in time, because now it's just pee and rain out here, dude. God, I cannot wait. It's supposed to be like 80 and sunny from Friday starting on, and I think that's when summer starts, because this, I'm getting real tired of this. After washing it, I am noticing a couple things. The paint is starting to fade and the clear coat is starting to disappear on things like the hood, the doors. The roof actually looks pretty good. I would expect that to be the worst. The hatch is a little bit faded here. I'm gonna try to buff the car with a polisher. I think I can bring the paint back to life. What I wanna do is start in the hatch or the trunk. I don't quite know what you call these. And I wanna get back here reassembled. I'm gonna clean out this whole trunk area first. And we're gonna start with tote number 1, which is the Bose sound system that goes back here. That's why there's these cutouts in the hatch up here, is for the Bose stuff. And then I know it runs all the way around here, and then that is actually where the usable hatch space is. At first I thought that the carpet was cut for some reason, but it's not. It's just where the sound system goes. It's not crazy dirty back here, but I'd like to clean everything off. We also have a spare tire from 30 years ago. You know, those old Japanese yellow spares. So I'll probably leave that back here just for the authenticity of it. So let's clean the hatch and then figure out how to put this sound system back in, because I'm not entirely sure, but it can't be that hard, right? my gosh, so I got the sound system back in. This was a little bit confusing. There's one plug back here that plugs in. I have another one that's unplugged that goes over here. It's just a little like 2-wire plug. It's tucked down there. I couldn't find anything that it plugs into, so I'm not gonna worry about it quite yet. This crossover tube here took me a minute, or the accordion guy, because you have to like bolt it in, and there's brackets that go on the inside of it, and it was super weird to try to put back together. It goes up and through the acoustic wave thing, then over here, and it comes up, and then I don't know if these are supposed to be like speakers or what they are, but you know, it's all connected. This part, there's the other half, it's like a V-band style for like speakers, and I'm missing half of it, so I'm gonna see if I can't find the other half that loops around and keeps those two pieces connected, because right now it's a little bit floppy, and I think with that other connector there, it'll make sure it's not floppy, but sweet. And then when you close the hatch, you can see the weird speaker kind of things poke up through the, closes down, and you can't even see it because the reflection, but they pop up right there, so that's kind of cool. The next box I want to tackle is one of these ones, which is the headlights. I gotta pull the bumper back off also, and while I have the bumper off, I'll put the crash beam back on, so that way that's back on there, so we can get the crash beam on, the headlights in. Bumper. On your headlight housing, you've got this massive motor, and I mean it's huge, and you've got this bracket that kind of stems off of it. You have to shove all of that through this hole here. I need to remove that zip tie. I was wondering where these went. They're like these little brackets, and there's like a little spot for it right here. So I'm gonna assume that they go right up here. So we're going to sneak all of this back through here, which can be a little bit of a pain, but this side actually wasn't too bad. You should have seen me on the other side. It was a freaking nightmare. Dude, I'm gonna know so much about these freaking things when I'm done with them. So here's what we're looking at for the headlights. This really confused me at first, but I mean, after you sit here and you play with it a little bit, you figure it out. You got one bolt here, one bolt there. You've got a little bracket that sits underneath of this. I just have 2 locating bolts there to hold it in place. You've got one right here, and then you've got another one down here for this little arm. The little arm does go on the outside, because on the other side there is a welded nut. There's no way. Ooh, we got some rust in there to clean up, just some surface rust. Got these little fun shrouds that have a couple Phillips head screws that just go in there. It looks like some of these were accidentally painted a little bit, but this will go on here somehow. Now the big issue that I have with my headlights is the covers, because that one still has a mounting tab there, still has a mounting tab there. The back mounting tab is broken, and then on this headlight, that is just set there. That's broken, and both of those mounting tabs are broken. So I really hope that I can still buy these headlight covers new. If not, I'm gonna have to try to find a used set and then just get them paint matched to the car, which is, I mean, gonna suck. I'm gonna toss this one on there for now just so it looks a little more complete, but it's better than just having big gaping holes right there for the time being. So let me get the shrouds put on here. Let me get this cover temporarily put on there to put the covers on. You've got the 2 screws here, which are right there, right somewhere there, and then oh, here's the other half of my headlight back here, broken. So cool. The bumper on, the headlight covers in, everything like that, it actually looks like an FD now. I gotta take the bumper back off though, because I'm trying to like go through tote by tote to figure out where everything goes, and I've got these sensor things, which I want to say are like airbag sensors that I would obviously like to put back in the car. So I'm gonna pull the bumper back off, pop the hood back open, and start trying to figure out where these random harnesses, horns, all that stuff goes. We got a lot of guess and check going on with the FD right now, trying to figure out where things go. The only thing I've really figured out are these, I believe they're airbag sensors that run right there under the headlights up through and then go in there. I still have to figure out where that one goes. Hold up, we have an engine being delivered from FedEx. A EJ25 back from out front. I am gonna talk about that here in a minute, but first I need to talk to you guys about today's video sponsor, our friends over at Techron. So recently I took the WRX off of E85 and I put it back on pump gas, mainly because I wanted to clean out the fuel system from that ethanol, because ethanol can be fairly corrosive. Now, whenever I swap back to pump gas from ethanol, I like to run these complete fuel system cleaners through the fuel system of our cars. Mainly because it's gonna help get rid of some of that corrosion that the E85 is putting in there. It's also gonna help clean up any debris, any gumming up of fuel system components, and it's super easy to use. Fill up your car with a full tank of fuel. We have a full tank at the moment. A little seal on here, put it in your fuel tank, and just let it go in. You can shake it, you can play with it, you can do whatever you want with it. Now with the complete fuel system cleaner, if you're just using it on your daily driver, you can potentially get back some of those lost miles per gallon from a gummed up fuel system, and you can go ahead and get some of that performance back that may have been lost. It's incredibly affordable too. You can snag it at pretty much any auto parts store. It's safe to use in your tuned cars, it's safe to use in your stock cars. Huge shout out once again to our friends over at Techron for partnering with us on another video. Now I should actually see if I can run this stuff in the FD. I don't know if I should. FDs, rotaries are a little more. I don't see why I couldn't run it in a rotary. I don't know, I'll do research. Anyways, let's get back to working on the FD. Like I was saying, in this out front box, we have a bored and honed EJ25 CP pistons. Inside I've got Manley rods, OEM crank, King bearings, everything like that, cams, valves, and valve springs. So we are gonna be doing another built EJ25 giveaway for you guys here in the next couple of weeks. Once I finalize the apparel designs that we're working on now. So one of you guys can win a 500 wheel horsepower capable EJ25 short block with a complete head package utilizing Kelford cams, GSC valve springs, and valves. So keep an eye out for that, that'll be fun. Now with the FD, I'm gonna keep trying to get some of this stuff in here. I would like to get the aftermarket radiator in because I don't think that's going to be a problem if I put the radiator in now versus later. Okay, I figured out where one harness goes, and that's for the battery, so I'm gonna try. I plugged a couple things in, so I don't quite know what's gonna happen when I hook up that battery. Hopefully nothing explodes. This thing should, in theory, work. What happens if I go put a key in now? Okay. Okay. That seems like a good sign, right? Nothing happened. Is something supposed to happen? Damn it, I want to see lights on the dash. Maybe there's stuff unplugged down there. I don't know, there's still a lot going on in here. Damn, dude, it was beeping too. Good afternoon, everyone. It is the next day. I woke up this morning with like the flu and I just feel like straight up crap, but there's some stuff I want to get done on the FD real quick. Just to at least get to like a good stopping point for where I want to be with the car. I did get in this morning the new engine reseal kit from Atkins. So this has everything like side seals, side springs, the corner seals, apex seals, everything like that for our 13B that we have over there. So I don't want to tear into the 13B until we have everything here for it, because I'm somebody who needs like the memory side of things, where it's like, okay, I just tore this thing apart, I know how to put it back together because I just tore it apart, so I'm gonna wait till we get our engine dowels and the engine stud kit. But I got a little bit more progress done on the FD. We're gonna get a little bit more done today. I'd like to get it vacuumed out also, but we'll see how I'm feeling here in a little bit. Well, up here we've got the radiator fans in. I went out and bought a battery last night. I've got one engine harness in here. I need to find out where those guys go right there. And we have a lot more stuff to put in this engine bay. So, with that being said, I do know where one component goes, and that is the cruise control module. I went down to Elevated Motorsports this morning and they have an FD down there, so I was able to take some pictures of the engine bay to kind of memorize and remember where things go. So let's keep bolting up some small stuff up in this engine bay and hopefully get this thing a little more cleaned up. What is this? Why is there a Rollwood brake canister there? What is the point of that? Okay, gonna have to figure that out at some point, because that's where the cruise control goes. Current moment, I'm just trying to... The problem I'm currently having is whenever I try to put the key in there, I've been trying to work out the electrical system. Whenever I try to put the key into the ignition, I get the beeps from the car, and then all I can do is control the driver's side window, and that's it. No lights or anything are coming on, so that means we're gonna have to go up onto the dash, start trying to figure out what's unplugged, what harnesses we're missing, what we still need to plug in. But before I do that, I want to spend some time cleaning up all of the interior, I guess I should say, to get the spiders out of there. One spider crossing was enough for me, so let's vacuum out 30 years of crap. So I guarantee there's still some crap in there from when this thing was brand new. Check out the stock carpets, you guys. They're so old, they've been deteriorating so much that all of the backing is just peeling off of them. It's wild. I've never seen floor mats do that before. I mean, 30 years old. I guess they're at the end of their service life, but I pulled the mat up and like all the stuff was underneath the mat on the floor. I was like, what the fuck? Hey guys, so with the FD here, that's pretty much where I'm gonna stop for today. I wasn't planning on waking up and feeling sick. And again, I don't think anyone plans on waking up and feeling sick. Unless you're trying to call it at work, then obviously you're trying to wake up feeling sick. But, I mean, good progress today. We got some of the stuff put back in the engine bay. A lot of the things that I'm doing right now is playing guess and check with everything because I don't know where any of it goes. The big concern I currently have is, I think I have the battery disconnected right now, is sticking the key in the ignition and only getting the chimes, but nothing's powering on. I don't know if I need to have the engine harness hooked up. I don't know if there's like a ground missing. It could be like a Subaru where the ECM gets its grounds through the engine harness, but I feel like I'd still be able to power the car on, if that makes sense. It's like the BIU isn't getting power. There could be a short in the relay somewhere. Probably didn't help that I grounded out the starter on the frame, but we'll get it figured out, we'll get it sorted. In the next video, that's gonna be the game plan number 1 is to get the electrical system figured out. Game plan number 2 is going to be to start tearing down our 13B back there, taking a look at the irons and seeing what's going on with them. I think I'm going to attempt to do a DIY street port on it. I found some templates online that you can print off, tape to the rotor housing, kind of trace out where you need to, and then take one of those Dremel bits and start cutting into it. So I think we're gonna do a DIY street port. Could be a very terrible idea, I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, right now my primary focus is going full steam ahead on the FD. I have decided we are gonna run a single turbo setup and put the car on a Haltech Elite 1500. Because we don't need a 2500 on this car. But for the sake of making tuning easier, these stock ECMs, I just don't think they're capable of being tuned to today's standards. So we'll put a Haltech Elite 1500 on it. We'll do a big single turbo setup on here. Looking at Borg Warner 68 series, I think. It might be bigger than that, I don't remember. It's a Borg Warner kit. So with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you liked the video, if you guys are hyped for the FD, you know what to do. Go and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be open in one of these corners, no idea which one quite yet. But with that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.